Time now for the Mark Kotsay Show, brought to you by Folsom Lake Ford. Right now, the Athletics, last 31 games, have the best record in the American League. How are things feeling for you in the clubhouse right now?
Clubhouse is great. There's a lot of energy in there. Guys are excited. Guys are strolling in today after the off day. You know, the off day, obviously, you can look at it two ways. It came at a good time or it can come at a bad time. And, we had a lot of momentum. We were playing really good baseball. So hopefully we pick things up right where we left off.
I'm going to say a bad time because when I was leaving doing all the callers on Wednesday, like everybody's jacked up, the team's playing well. And that's like you want to keep playing when you're playing well.
Yeah, you do. You really do, But, again, this part of the season is a grind. It's August 29th today, I think. And, we've been playing for a long time. And so it's beneficial for these guys to get that day off. You've seen me give Kurtz a day, even though I pinch hit him late. Lang's getting a day here and there. One guy that we could talk about that really hasn't had a day is Tyler Soderstrom, which we can get into him. But, those off days are good. They let guys kind of decompress, get away from the game a little bit, wash your car, did you get your car washed yesterday, or what did you do? Play golf?
I played golf.
Oh,
I was busy.
No hole in one this time, though.
No, 3 birdies, but no hole in one. But thanks for asking.
I flew home to San Diego. I had a 6:30 a.m. flight. Yep. And
it's called love, Kotz.
Yeah,
you love your wife.
Well, I was looking forward to San Diego weather, and the Sacramento weather is way better. I love to be warm.
Is it still
San Diego
June?
Was raining yesterday.
No,
it was raining. It was like a tropical storm
wow.
coming up from Mexico. So we had rain until like 3:30, but then the clouds broke, and I got an amazing sunset. Like the ball of fire on the water yesterday was unreal. It was epic, and I got to see it with my best friend Trevor Hoffman. His wife and him came over for dinner, and it was a great night.
All right. Nice drop there. Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman. Before I want to get back to that, the days off for the younger players, because I think it's interesting when looking at their history leading into that. But the Sacramento weather, everybody was in a full-on panic last year when they heard about, it's going to be 180 degree. The weather here, speaking of like Southern California, the weather here has been warm, but it hasn't been too hot. It's been beautiful.
Yeah, we're going to get some weather. We're going to get 99 tomorrow, I think, and the day game on Sunday will be in the upper 90s again. But we have escaped the weather. We've escaped the weather everywhere, really. We've been on the East Coast, and to my recollection, we haven't had a game where it's been 90 degrees and 80% humidity, which you can run into all over the Midwest and East Coast.
Rain delays.
Yeah, we've gotten really fortunate this year. But, we did take into consideration the game times, for SAC this year and how the weather was last year. But we've really had a nice summer here, and I'd take warm over cold anytime.
No doubt. I always talk about, where I grew up in San Diego, inland, old Jack Murphy Stadium was not close to the water. This weather, very, very, very similar. Back to the days off, by the way. So it's so interesting you mentioned Tyler Soderstrom versus somebody like Nick Kurtz, because Tyler Soderstrom, drafted out of high school, is used to playing a full minor league system to, schedule, versus Nick Kurtz, who last year was in college playing far less games at Wake Forest. Like, how much do you guys take that into consideration, their history of how many games they've played before?
No, they'll talk about it. They'll tell you, actually. Kurtz will say, this is a grind, and it is. There's no question about it. Wilson's the same way. Wilson had a very small window in the minor leagues. If you look back at the history of players, generally they go through a full season in the minor leagues. And that gives them some awareness of what to expect and how your body's going to feel, and how to play at 80% versus 100% every day. And so those are all things that these guys are learning this year. But again, Sodi, Butler, those guys have played minor league seasons where there's a 140 game schedule and they play every day. And obviously now the adjustments in the minor leagues, they only play 6 games a week. They get every Monday off. So it's a little bit different because we don't get that luxury here. You play 16 in a row, have a day off, play 16 in a row, which we did this year. And so, it's all a learning curve.
17 years in the big leagues. When did you get used to that? When did you get used to the full major league season, used to the grind, taking care of the body on and off the field, taking care of business on and off the field?
I think year 2. I think year 1, I really hit a wall in August. I lost about 18 pounds that year. was obviously playing with the Florida Marlins, where the heat and humidity is extreme. It's nothing compared to here.
No.
It's 10 times worse. And, again, you learn how to maintain weight. You learn how to, eat, sleep, recover. It takes a full season to learn those things.
All right, your bullpen, the rankings since June 24th in the American League, it's like number 1 in everything. Obviously, bullpen got out to a good start.
When you do that, right?
You what?
Yeah, I hate it when you brag and bring up stats.
Why do you hate that?
Because the last time we talked about something positive and the negative happened that night.
Your bullpen's been terrible since June 24th, Mark Kotsay. How do you address that?
You just continue to move the needle forward there. Thanks, Townie.
Knock on wood.
Yes.
But it's true. They've been lights out. They've been lights out.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. Each guy that's come in has really pitched, their portion of the game, whatever portion that is, very well. There's a lot of confidence. They're feeding off each other. The culture is great down there. Obviously we lost our closer, a guy that was the, back end of that bullpen and one of the leaders down there. And when that took place, they all kind of came together and said, hey, well, we just got to go get outs. We'll fill the role. We'll get the job done. And they have.
How do you manage it? Do you just as the game goes on or before the game, do you have an idea of who you want to close that night? How do you manage that into the game?
Yeah, I don't necessarily pick a closer before the game. I look at the game and try to break it down. You'd like to get your starter through 6 innings. Generally that, is difficult, but you look at the lineup where you fall, the best matchups per se, whether that's handedness or whether that's, data statistically driven. And so you make a game plan before the game. You don't script it, but you have a semi-script in your head of how you want to lay it out. The 21st out to the 27th out generally falls in or around the 2-hitter to the 5-hitter, and those are the important outs. And so we've kind of looked at that and said, okay, what's our best way to get through this inning to give ourselves the best chance to win games? And we're kind of doing that right now.
Do you think it's easier now to be able to have, you can't script a game, but have the really good idea, because teams have so many guys in the bullpen, they don't have very many bench players. So obviously there's going to be a backup catcher. Then there's kind of like 3 guys there. The benches are smaller. So is that easier to kind of navigate, knowing, okay, these are the kind of moves the other team could make against you?
Well, I mean, yes, but no. I mean, you look at the Tiger series and they were going to get their matchup no matter what we did. And so when you make a decision to bring a left-hander in against a left-handed bat that is going to get pinch hit for, you also have to look at who's on the bench. You got to evaluate that matchup before you bring that lefty in to make sure that, like for Newcomb, he's a 51% ground ball guy against right-handed hitters. Okay, so does that hitter that's coming in hit the ball on the ground? Like, there's all those variables that you're looking at prior to making those moves, and before the game. We do have a meeting in there. I talked to the pitching coaches. I talked to Darren Bush, my bench coach. We look at the workload sheet. We're trying to use guys that are rested, generally that have 2 days off, but some guys, like you saw Sterner throw back-to-back, on Wednesday. So you're just looking at a lot of factors with the bullpen, trying to make sure you're giving the best chance for success.
Luis Morales, I was so impressed with that start in Seattle in front of about 37,000. And then what he came back and did here at the ballpark in West Sacramento, he's super athletic. I mean, he looks like he could play shortstop, center field. The arm is he's got the deception. He puts it way behind him, then he's slinging it. It's 99, 98. Such great feel on the sweeper and the change. You just look at his age and you just go, wow. I mean, just what you have seen, how special can this kid be?
I think he can be really special. When we saw him pitch for us in spring training, and I believe it was only 1 inning, but it was pretty electric. And Scott Emerson and myself were really excited about him. We've followed him throughout his process this year from start to now. And we do feel like we're fine-tuning some things with his mechanics, and it's helping him, get the baseball in the zone more consistently than he had in minor leagues. And it's a key part to having success here is being able to throw the baseball where you want it. It's a lot of times execution over power, and he has both. So if we can get the execution part tuned in, it could be really special.
All right, 27 games remain. What do you want to see from your ball club? If I could give you one wish, what's the one wish for 27 games left?
27 wins.
27 and 0 is fair.
You asked for a wish.
Yeah.
There you go.
You'd be in the playoffs.
27 wins.
27, but something you'd like to see from the team other than 27 straight wins.
I mean, continue playing the baseball that we're playing. Really, I mean that's the key. I've asked for backside base runner with 2 outs to be safe at second. Like, just give me one this year, because we're going to build it. We're going to stress it. We continue to stress it. But, those little variables, those little hustle plays, that detail, leads at third base, being more aggressive. But we've done a nice job running the bases with the speed that we have, which is minimal. Yeah, I mean, those are just small little nuances of the game that I watch and challenge guys to.
It's so funny. We'll end on this. I don't know how much you follow it, but we're always addressing things inside the game, and we're trying to figure out what works and what are the trends and everything. And you win on the margins, as they say. Certain teams and their labs are smarter than everybody else, but all of a sudden they're starting to realize, winning on the margins right now is really playing fundamental baseball, which everybody was taught years ago.
Yeah, they were, but unfortunately, the fundamental part of the game isn't stressed enough in the development side. And I'm not talking about our development system. I'm talking about the travel ball leagues, the little league that the coaches, but more so just the showcase stuff that these kids are going out and playing games. And you see them line up for a cutoff and relay. They're totally out of place. They walk to the baseball. They walk to their spot on the field when the ball's in the gap because they think they have time and they're not set up ready to make a play. Like, all these little nuances that I watch that drive me crazy. Yes, the fundamentals of the game are really what lead to victory. So, again, I can sit up here and harp all day on that stuff, but I'm not going to.
Some of the greatest post-game speeches that have ever been caught on tape, your old coach, Augie Garrido.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Augie coaching just travel ball guys?
I don't think that would work out very well for either of them. Yeah, for the travel ball kids and for Og. So,
well, we appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the 27 games. We'll talk to you next week on the road.
Sounds good. Thanks.
The Mark Kotsay Show, brought to you by Folsom Lake Ford.